Paldea Evolved is almost here, and we are looking at all the cards coming in the latest set. Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And today I'm going to be looking at the fighting cards in the latest set. So let's go ahead, jump over here to the amazing JustinBasil.com website, where they have the best look at the art and the translations, in my opinion, and just a lot of useful information. And let's go ahead, kick things off by looking at Mankey with a single energy attack that does 10 damage and a 2 energy attack that does 30. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. I mean, I've gone over these attacks several times already, so you kind of know what we're getting story here. Yeah, let's move on to Primape. Primape, with a single energy attack, 30 damage, 2 energy, pummel, 60 plus. Flip a coin if heads. This attack does 60 more damage. That's 120 damage on a coin flip. That's not bad for a evolving stage 1, because of course we do have the Annihilate EX box coming that's gonna, this Primape evolves into, and all that stuff. Is not terrible, in my opinion. I kind of like this Primape. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Next up, we do have Paldea Taurus. I believe this is the last Taurus on the list, last Paldea Taurus. With the 2 energy attack, Rage Horn, 20 plus damage. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage count on this Pokemon. I think there could be a fun box deck with all these different types of Tauros hitting different weaknesses, but I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be the best, like a very good deck out there. Getting the damage on Tauros and attacking with it to hit certain weaknesses. If you're not up against those weaknesses, you're really not doing much. Maybe this other attack will have something for us, though. 3 energy, 2 fighting, 1 colorless. Combat tackle, 130 damage. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. It's alright. Yeah, 130 is not bad. You throw in a choice belt, so you're at 160 and doubled with weakness. That's 320, and you're doing pretty awesome. But it is 3 energy on a basic Pokemon. The 30 damage to itself doesn't really matter. So Paldea Taurus, not bad. I'm really excited about the idea of the Paldea Taurus box deck. I'm wondering if that does have possible, a possibility of being decent, So let's go ahead and move on to Sudowoodo. Single energy, hit and hide, 20 damage, flip a coin if heads during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. That's pretty cool. 3 energy, elbow strike, 90 damage. You would really only want to play it for the first attack, but that first attack isn't good enough to play it. Like, if this was an evolving basic, I'd be totally behind it, but it's not, and so it doesn't even have an ability that you can really get from it. I'm just not seeing the benefit of it currently. Sorry to any Sudowoodo fans. Next up, we do have Larvitar. Single energy, double stab, 10 damage times flip 2 coins. This attack does 10 damage for each heads. That's okay, not terrible. Pupitar, 2 energy, 50 damage. That's okay, that's respectable. Tyranitar is a darkness Pokemon, so you'll have to come back tomorrow to see that. Makuhita, 2 energy, 40 damage. That's pretty good, I think, for an evolving basic. 2 energy, 40, yeah. Harryhariyama, ability, rigorous training. All your Pokemon take 10 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon after applying weakness and resistance. I don't think 10 less damage is enough to worry about setting up a bunch of stage 1s. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. Maybe there's other ways to reduce damage. Not 100% sure about that. I would really like it if it reduced damage from all attacks. Because if you have an attack that hurt yourself and you had Harryhariyama there, preventing some of that, I would really love that. But yeah, it only prevents 10 damage from your opponent's active, or your opponent's Pokemon. So, yeah. Next up, we have Gunk. Single energy, 10 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. That seems kind of fun. Toxicroak, single energy, 30 damage. 2 energy, 60 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. I kind of wish Toxicroak did something else with poison condition. Say, like, if your opponent's active is poison, you do 60 more, or something like that. That would have been really fun. Just 2 energy, 60 plus poison, I don't think is enough for this Toxicroak to be considered good. Next up, we do have Rockruff, single energy, 10 damage. 3 energy, 40 damage. That's a bit high in my opinion. 3 energy for just 40 damage, while we have Makuhita here, 2 energy, 40 damage. So, yeah. There is a Lycanroc EX, though, that Rockruff evolves into. Single energy, 40 damage. 3 energy, Scary Fang, 140 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, put 10 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So let me read this again. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon's damaged by an attack, beautiful. That is worded how we want it. It's not if the defending Pokemon attacks, then it's if this Pokemon is attacked. So that means even if your opponent switches their Pokemon, this effect will stay on Lycanroc. They can boss around it, gust it out of the active escape rope, something to turn off that effect, but that requires a little bit more work for them and something they may not be really wanting to do. But I do like that. That does end up to be 240 damage, which is a good amount of damage, and yeah, I mean, Choice Belt or Defiant Band or however you want to add in damage here, you can. Even, what's that one card? Grant, I think. It just adds 30 to your fighting type Pokemon and you can recover it from the discard. That seems like a fun addition with Lycanroc. So I really like this Lycanroc. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun and there's some interesting ideas with it. And it being weak to Grass rather than Psychic is also an advantage, because as we know, Grass never really gets time to shine. So Lycanroc probably won't be worrying about weakness too much. Alright, next up is Pacimient. Pacimient sometimes has some fun cards. 2 energy assisted pass, 70 damage, move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. I'm not really seeing much of a reason to play Pacimient. I don't think 70 damage is important enough. And then moving an energy from this Pokemon to a bench Pokemon, the 70 damage just isn't enough. Moving an energy I like because it saves it, but at the same time, the 70 is just not enough. You might as well be attacking with someone else. If it was 1 energy, I could see an argument, but I do think 70 for 1 energy would be a bit too high. So I kind of see how they ended up at 2 energy, but I wish it was a little bit better, or maybe you move the energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench and then you gain a secondary effect or something, maybe if you do that, then you also get to move your opponent's energy. That would be a lot of fun. Alright, next up we do have Phalanx. Phalanx for a single energy, 20 damage, but for 3 energy, coordinated attack, 70 plus damage. If you have a Phalanx on your bench, this attack does 90 more damage. That's 160. If you're hitting for weakness, that's going to be 320. I like that. All it takes is 2 Phalanx and keeping them in the game and with 3 energy, and you just keep attacking with them. I really like that idea. I'm wondering if there's other Phalanx that you could play it with. I know there's a Rapid Strike one, but I don't think it synergizes well. But, I'm not 100% sure what other Phalanx you could play with it. In Expanded, you could go with the Phalanx. Oh, you probably can't go with Phalanx V, actually. It doesn't say with Phalanx in the name, it says Phalanx, and Phalanx V is a different Pokemon. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure what you're partnering this up with, but 160 is not bad and might be something to play around with at the very least. Next up, we have Nakili, maybe? Single energy, 20 damage. Meh. Another Nakili here, single energy, heal 20 damage from one of your Pokemon. Okay, I kind of like that because it lets you target a different Pokemon. And 10 more HP than this one. I guess I would go with the 70 HP Nakili. Yeah, the 2 energy, 30 damage is okay. Keppel Stack? Nakili Stack? I don't know how to say this. 2 energy, flip 3 coins. This attack does 60 damage for each heads. I like that. I really like that. You flip 2 coins, that's 120. You hit 3 heads, and that's 180 damage coming from this stage 1 2 energy attack. I really, really like that. That just seems really good. Next up, we have Garnakoli. Bless Salt. During your ability, during Pokemon Checkup, heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. That is fantastic. That it's during Pokemon Checkup, so it's not just between your turn and your opponent's turn, but also your opponent's turn and your turn, if that makes any sense. So you can heal 40 damage from the end of your opponent's turn to their next turn. That's a good amount of damage to be healed. It being on a stage 2 might be a little bit of an issue, but does have a 2 energy attack that does 130 damage and discards a card from the top of your opponent's deck. That's more of like a secondary benefit, not really a main focus of the deck. I really like the healing 40 though. Healing 40 from your opponent's end of your opponent's turn to the beginning of their next turn is a lot. So I do like this Pokemon. I don't know how you're going to play it, but someone's going to figure it out. Maybe we're going to have to wait for a Garnakoli EX or something like that to really see the benefit, but I do like it. Next up, we've got Glimmet. Single energy Ascension. Search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. Very similar to the coughing into the wheezing that was really popular, really good. So maybe we'll get something similar. We get another Glimmet with a single energy, 20 damage. However, this does have 30 more HP than the first Glimmet. I still think the ability to evolve up instantly is really good, but let's see the evolution to make sure. So we have Glamoria with the ability Crystal Break. When this Pokemon is knocked out, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent can't take any prize cards for it. That's pretty exciting. And then the single energy Floral Spite. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon Checkup, put 6 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. I'm a big fan of this. It's not quite as good as Galarian Weezing was, but I definitely see this being a lot of fun and something I am definitely going to be building. This might be the first deck I build out of Paldea Evolved. It'll really depend on my polls and what I can do on the PTCGL app, but I'm hoping that this will come in as an uncommon. Maybe it's going to come in as a rare, which will make it a little bit more expensive, but I got enough credit, so this might be my first deck. I really like this. You can add Hisuian Sneasler so that it's 8 damage counters between turns, which is a lot to deal with, and I'm sure there's some other things that we can do. I think there's a muck that prevents them from retreating and stuff. There's a lot of ideas, and I love the fact that you flip a coin and maybe they can't take a prize. Whoopsie. Maybe they can't take a prize. That is phenomenal. So, yeah. And then this is our final fighting type Pokemon. Tinglu EX with the ability Earth and Curse. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's Pokemon that have any damage counters on them have no abilities except for Pokemon EX. If it didn't have that exception, I would love it. Absolutely love it. Get Hawlucha in the deck, spread some damage around, and then turn off abilities. I think that is a real fun way for this to occur. And the fact, the limitation that Tinglu has to be in the active makes that exception for Pokemon EX hurt that much more. That, you know, no matter what you're doing, you're not going to be shutting down Gardevoir. You're not going to be shutting down any EX Pokemon that has an ability with this Earth and Curse. So that exception is holding this card back so much. And as time moves on, we play more and more EX, this card will have less and less value. That really hurts me. 3 energy Land Scoop, 150 damage. Put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So that can also play into the whole turning off abilities thing. just not sold on it being that good yet. Maybe you've got an idea for Tinglu to be better. Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your idea on how to make this card function in a world where we are going to be playing more EX Pokemon in general. But I think right now it's just too limited to be considered good. Well, like right now would be the time to play it, but in the future, it's going to be too limiting. It's got a short shelf life, basically. If you want to play this, play it soon, because the more EXs that come out, the less good this ability gets. And those are all the fighting type Pokemon. Let me know your favorite Pokemon from this list. If you are going to build a deck around one of these Pokemon, let me know down in the comments. I would love to see what you guys are excited about. Also, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of these set review videos that we are doing. Tomorrow will be Darkness type Pokemon. Super excited for that. I know there are some fun ones in there. I know Murkrow's in there, and that's definitely a fun one. Let's see. Yeah, and join the Discord if you want more one-on-one interaction with me. There's a lot of cool people in there, and you could be one of them. And then, of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.